Remember me. Remember me.
Susie?
Ghost stories! We've all read them, heard them. They still have the power to enthrall, disturb. Let us hear the famous opening paragraph of Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House, named by Stephen King as perhaps the greatest haunted house story of all time. No live organism can continue for long to exist sanely under conditions of absolute reality. Even larks and katydids are supposed by some to dream. Hill House, not safe, stood by itself against its hills, holding darkness within. It had stood so for 80 years and might stand for 80 more. Within, walls continued upright, bricks met neatly, floors were firm, and doors were sensibly shut. Silence lay steadily against the wood and stone of Hill House, and whatever walked there, walked alone. Now such stories are enjoyed more on the screen than on the page. Horror movies are perhaps the most popular movie genre of all time. Go to your local HMV and look at some of the titles. The Conjuring, The Others, Ouija, Ouija 2, Ouija 3. Surely supernatural entities must exist. Spectral shapes half-formed in the translucent mist. Millions of people have allegedly seen them. There are countless known spaces, often called, that are apparently haunted. Yeah, what are ghosts? Is it mass hysteria? Psychic photographs? Tricks of the light? Electrical impulses of the brain? Or, as the Jehovah's Witnesses would have it, are ghosts emissaries of Satan? We all have a desire to be scared. From the small child scared by a visit to the ghost train or Farmageddon, to the adult terrified by paranormal activity or the exorcist. Supernatural ghost stories are perhaps the most popular of this genre. They try to answer the question first posed in 1600 by Shakespeare's Hamlet. What is the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns? Puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Samuel Johnson of The Afterlife said, all argument is against it, all belief is for it. So can the dead return to the living? People, no matter where your age, race, creed, colour, religion, nationality, gender, we all want to believe in a life after death. We all want a ticket to this undiscovered country. We don't need a passport.
The trouble is, it's one way. Ghosts are always on the periphery. You think you see them, but you don't. 20/20 vision dispels the myth. There is less than meets the eye. We think we see ghosts, but we don't. Perhaps we all desperately want to see ghosts.
What are ghosts? Everybody out there has either got a ghost story, true one, or heard one. The classic Victorian and Edwardian ghost story, which we're studying today, was often told to a rapt audience illuminated only by candlelight. So, if you will, lower the lights, please. Tonight, let us hear such classic ghost stories as...
The Ash Tree by M.R. James. Mother Soul is tried and executed for being a witch. Before she dies, she says, there will be guests at the hall. The magistrate who condemned her is found dead in his bed with his skin blackened with strange puncture marks. Many years later, they excavate her grave to find her missing. A descendant of the magistrate is kept awake at night by a strange tapping on his window. And that morning, he too is found dead with the same blackened skin and strange puncture marks. There's movement in a nearby ash tree, and upon investigation they find spiders the size of human heads. They burn the tree down, and inside they find the blackened skeleton of Mother Soul.
The Signalman by Charles Dickens. A signalman in a lonely railway curtain has had two premonitions of a figure at the track with his hand over his face waving like this. First time the signalman sees it, the person is killed by the train. Second time the signalman sees it, the figure with his hand waving like this. A person falls from the train and is dead. And now, for the third time, the signalman is seeing a figure like this wave. Who could it possibly be warning of? Whose death could it be an omen of? A few days later, the signalman is found dead himself by the track. The warning was for him.
The Monkey's Paw by W. Jacobs. A man brings back a monkey's paw from India, but he seems troubled by it. So he gives it to his friend and says it'll grant you 3 wishes. So his friend and his wife say, we'll make our first wish for £200. And they receive it as compensation when their son dies in an industrial accident. For their second wish, they wish for their son to return. And he does, as he walks from his grave and begins to knock on their front door. Their third wish is for everything to go away. And the moral of the story? Be careful what you wish for.
Oh, whistle, and I'll come to you, my lad, by M.R. James. Parkins, an archaeologist, goes for a golfing holiday on the coast, and he finds a mysterious whistle amongst the sand. On it is a Latin inscription that translated means, who is this who is coming? He blows the whistle. Later that day, a silhouetted figure, indistinct, seems to be following him on the beach. Later that night in a hotel room, he hears a word at the empty bed next to him. There seems to be rustling of the linen. Next day, the bedclothes are disturbed. Later that day, is a word of the indistinct figure silhouetted following him on the beach again, but this time it's closer. Again that night is a word of the linen in the bed next to him in the hotel room, moving in the night. The next morning is a word that the linen is disturbed. And again, the figure on the beach, indistinct, silhouetted, but closer. That night he hears the linen in the bed next to him moving one last time. He jumps up, pulls down the curtains, and there in the moonlight is a monstrous figure inside the linen. The whistle had summoned.
The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. 2 children being looked after by their governess begin to see the ghosts of their old maid and gardener. They don't tell anyone, but as soon as they do, the boy dies. My name's Eleanor Smith. I'm 23 years old and I'm a student at Liverpool John Moores University studying English literature. My thesis is on historical ghost stories and my tutor is Mr. Montague.
Hello, Eleanor.
Hello, Mr. Montague.
Did you have a nice weekend?
Yeah? I'm just not sleeping well, that's all.
Nightmares?
Yeah.
Anything concrete?
It's probably just something I ate,
More gravy than gravy.
I guess.
Dickens aside, Eleanor, what's trouble?
I've been spooked.
Oh, literally. By what? By who?
Just my sister, Susie, that died 3 years ago. She was only 18, I was 20. Suicide.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I took a couple of years out of university. I couldn't cope, I suppose. I still have nightmares. Not as frequent now, though.
How do you mean?
She comes to me, so lifelike. I know she's dead, but in my dreams, she's so alive. Do you believe in ghosts?
Well, if she's in your dream, then she's not a ghost.
Well, no, but you know, when you die, is that it?
Who knows? We're all going to die. Going to the inevitable, as Philip Larkin called it. Most religions believe in reincarnation, but I think the answer lies closer to home. Let's have a look at one of the set texts you've been studying. H.G. Wells's short story, The Red Room. A man, to prove that ghosts do not exist, spends the night in a supposedly haunted castle room. As he is aware of the candles around him, mysteriously blowing out, one by one, he's aware of a germinating darkness, an indefinable presence of a lurking, living thing that comes so easily in silence and solitude. He's aware of the horror of the coming darkness. And yet what's he afraid of? Fear itself. Perhaps the answer lies in you and not in the spiritual world. But if you're still getting spooked in your sleep, who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters?
You see dead people.
No, I see dead, boring people.
It's all context, Ellen. It's lovely to hear a child laughing in the house, but not if you live alone.
I want them to be real. I want to hear a voice, even if it is just for one last time. I know it makes no sense. It makes sense to me. It's all I have. If the undiscovered country remains that, forever undiscovered and unexplored, then what hope is there? We're born, we live, and we die. And that's it. Aren't you terrified that those you love, when they die, you'll never see them again, never hug them or love them again? It's insane. Why would God do that to us? Why give us love and affection and then just let it vanish? In just over 100 years' time, everyone on this planet, that's boy, girl, animal, rich, poor, will be dead. That's 7 billion people. 7 billion people dead as a doornail, as a dodo, extinct. We think by 2062 there'll be more dead people on Facebook than there will be living. This undiscovered country, why does it even exist? All you're left with is pain and misery. If we could just have some hope that the dead will return. The discovered country. It's just a one-way ticket, no going back. Final destination, journey's end, kaput.
Always amused by people being scared of the dead, of ghosts. Should be more scared of the living than the dead. We're not scared of the dark, but what's in the dark.
Susie was sceptical. She didn't believe in the afterlife or ghosts. And now she is one. I just find that funny. I saw a psychic once, before Susie passed, called Tracy. She was really good. She got an image of my granddad, sitting in his chair in the corner, twiddling his thumbs and clearing his throat, just like he used to. She couldn't possibly have guessed that image. It might have been mind reading though. Why don't you try and contact Susie? You know, like with a seance or a Ouija board. You've got a Ouija board, I've seen that on your shelf.
Purely decorative, Ellen. The Ouija board. First invented in the late 19th century at the height of the spiritualist craze. First started by the supposed haunting of the Fox sisters, 1848, Rochester, New York. Its most popular year in terms of sales was 1944. especially June 1944, right at the height of the D-Day Normandy landings when thousands of people were getting killed day by day. Coincidence? The Ouija board. Or the old hotline to spirits. Now, let us see what the rules of the talking spirit board are. Few mystical tools surpass the spirit board in terms of infamy or effectiveness. Light a white candle burn as far as the board as the height of the tallest inquirer. This will protect you from any negative forces which may manifest themselves. With fingers resting lightly upon the planchette, ask your question and wait for the spirits to answer. A powerful divinatory tool that should not be feared but embraced. Do not use under the age of 18 or under the influence of alcohol. So, what you do is you ask it a question and it will either lead yourself to yes or to no, and if it's a talkative ghost, spells out the letters. But obey the rules at all cost, otherwise you will unleash God knows what.
Jesus, now you're scaring me. Why is everyone so scared of Ouija boards? I thought it was just a parlour game.
Obey the rules at all costs. Now, what do you think now?
Will Mr. Montague's hair ever grow back?
No. Take it seriously.
Okay. Are you there, Susie? Why did you kill yourself? She died quickly, sudden. 1 minute there, the next, gone. Gone girl, no indication, no warning. 1 minute she was Sister Susie, alive, vibrant, unique, amazing. And the next, a government statistic. Suicide by train. Horrible. I still hear the noise of that train. That's how the nightmare starts. And then I see the tunnel and I hear shouts and screams. And then a face appears. And it's normal. And then it's cut up, mutilated, blood. And she opens her mouth and she goes to speak and she says, "Remember me." And then I go to speak, say something back, and I wake up.
Your sister's death has had a profound influence. There is a theory that those who die suddenly are unaware that they're dead and walk this earth in a kind of purgatory. The singer Marianne Faithfull took an overdose in '69 and near death. She said she was visited by the ghost of Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones, who drowned a few days earlier. Tell me, Eleanor, how often do you dream this?
Nightmare. Once a week at least, for the last 3 years. She was cremated, to see, her wish. But all I have left now is ashes. Pictures and memories fading. I'd just like to speak to her just one last time to find out why she did it.
Ghosts! They've been seen, heard, smelt in mirrors, paintings, windows, houses, going upstairs, churches, churchyards, on the moors, on battlefields, walking through walls. Actually, I'm not sure about the last one. They've been photographed too, that famous photograph of the brown lady of Raynham Hall going up the stairs. Is that a ghost? Or is it just a double photographic negative exposure? A real person, but apparently spectral. Most those photographs are faked. CCTV images as well. The door opened because somebody opened it. The spectre of High Hill Castle is not a spectre, but a spectator, paying customer. Harry Houdini, he tried to expose fake mediums. Now it's Darren Brown. Houdini had an elaborate code that he devised for his wife, and he said after his death he would give her this code in a seance to prove that the afterlife existed. For 10 years, she went to mediums and seances, and guess what? No code was given. Is it Undiscovered Country? Franz Kafka said the meaning of life is that it stops. Is that true? All sorts of philosophies think different things. As Hamlet says, there's more in heaven and earth than is dreamt of in your philosophy.
But surely we'd have proof by now. I don't mean like Derek Cora and Most Haunted. That's not proof, it's bollocks. It's so contrived.
What are ghosts? Iconic entities. Belief in the dead rising goes back to animism and ancestor worship in pre-literate days. Most cultures believe in immortality, that the soul lives on. The ancient poem Epic of Gilgamesh was the most haunted of its day. Ghost, known in English as a spook, a haunt, an apparition, a phantom, the soul of the dead person or animal manifesting itself to the living. There's the belief in living ghosts. There's the Scottish belief in fetch.
What? Like that word in Mean Girls?
No, not like that word in Mean Girls, but a living person manifesting to another living person as a warning or an omen. There's a Chinese Hungry Ghost Festival. Mexico's Dias de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. Perhaps they're just psychic photographs. You walk long enough in a space, you leave some kind of physical image or imprint. Poltergeist stages seem to be physical magnetic forces. Necromancy is the study of the dead. Spiritualism has been popular now, but it always has been. Why? Ghosts are spectral. Here. And yet not here. There. And yet not there. There. And yet not there. You have nothing to fear. You have nothing to fear but fear itself.
FDR?
Yeah, true, but true of all sorts of contexts and issues. It's like in the Red Room. The guy, to prove that ghosts do not exist, spends the night in an apparently haunted castle room. So all the lights go around him and go out. He is aware of the germinating darkness, but what's his conclusion in the morning?
That the room was haunted, yes, but only by our own sense of fear.
Precisely. We all have fears and phobias. The actress Natalie Wood had a lifelong fear of dark water. It sucks you down.
Go on.
Drown in dark water.
Oh, great, that allays my fears.
I have a fear of cars. No car will do me. I'll either be in one when it hits or it'll hit me.
Don't you drive?
Never have, never will. You need to connect with Susie to get closure.
Closure? That makes me sound like some sort of high street store. I want the circle complete. I need to just speak to her one last time.
Say to the dead what you should have said to the living.
Exactly. Regrets? Yeah, we all have a few, and that's mine. She needed me to speak to her mum.
Be careful though. The answer you get might not be what you want or expect. Morrissey and his single Ouija board, as a person using the Ouija board in a desperate search for love from beyond the grave. That's what the answer is.
What?
Push off.
Susie wants to speak, don't you see? There's no, don't you see? She wants to speak so that she can explain, so that I can have...
Closure.
Yes. Closure. Lost souls. Are they lost? Forever wandering in purgatory, or are they happy to be seen? Happy to communicate? This building itself, the Queen's Hall studio, it has a past, a history. It used to be a Sunday school. It'll be haunted. The spirits dormant here wish light on them. Can you sense them? Can you sense them right here, in this moment, in this very hall?
Let us begin the seance. Not so much seance on a wet afternoon as seance on a miserable March night, but never mind. Now you put your fingers like this. So if you connect your finger here, touching mine. Now, if you take it seriously, we might connect with Susie.
I'm scared.
Believe.
Is there anybody there? Is there anybody there? Knock once for yes and twice for no.
Listen, Noel, coward. Treat the spirit world with respect.
Sorry, right.
Mom.
Okay. Are you there? Ooh.
You want to see her?
I'm nervous. I'm scared too.
Right. Who is this? Who is coming? An invisible force has entered the space. Once touched, will never be alone.
Hello, Susie. Susie, it is you. Oh, Susie, why didn't you speak to me? Confide in me? Why didn't you tell me what's wrong?
Hiya. I'm fine. I'm just in the next room. When you want to meet me, I'll be there. Close your eyes and you'll see me. I'm in the breeze that blows on your face, in the sunset. I couldn't see a way out. Everything was closing in and slowing down. It was just darkness. But hear me, it is not your fault. You are not to blame for this. I will never die as long as you remember me. Please remember me, Ellie. Don't forget the sound of my voice. Remember me when I am gone away, gone far into the silent land, where you can no more hold me by the hand. Nor I half turn to go yet turn and stay. Remember me more, day by day. You tell me of our future that you planned. Only remember me, you understand? It is too late to counsel then or pray. Yet if you should forget for a while, and afterwards remember, do not grieve. For if the darkness and corruption leave a vestige of the thoughts that once I had, it's better by far that you should forget and smile, than remember and be sad.
She's gone.
Not anymore. I can't believe she actually appeared. Maybe Susie came to exercise me, to purge me, to say, it wasn't your fault, get on with your life. I believe in ghosts now. Do you?
Yes, Eleanor, I do. I believe ghosts are not to be scared of. This seance proves that ghosts are to be embraced and not shunned.
I guess she felt isolated, alienated, clinically depressed, couldn't talk. There's many reasons why people commit suicide. I looked it up. They could have mental health issues, online trolls, debt, bullying, the stress of life, growing old. They can do it in a variety of ways. Gassing like Sylvia Plath, drowning like Alma Attenborough and Virginia Woolf, pills, hanging, shooting, suicide by cop. It's a suicide squad I didn't want my sister to be a part of. In darkness with no light.
Why Susie?
She lost the trail, lost focus. Maybe she was envious of me. The golden girl went to uni, succeeded.
Can't blame yourself for the insecurities of others.
But why suicide? Why didn't she just talk to me? Tell her big sister why she felt that way and that way only.
There's lots of reasons why people commit suicide. And don't forget, it's still seen as a sin by the Catholic Church. You'll go to hell. Out of old bollocks, if you ask me. Surely God will want to help those most in hurt and need. I think people commit suicide because of where they are and what they think is to come.
What's been, what's here, and what is to come.
Exactly. Past, present, future.
You sound like the Shangri-Las.
Ghosts are misty. The brain has an ability to create shapes that aren't there. You can make faces out of shapes, for example, a body scan, a vegetable, a cloud.
Jesus on a piece of toast.
Exactly. Those faces aren't there, but our brain works so that we can see them. It's called pareidolia. Perhaps that's what ghosts are. You put 2 and 2 together and you make 5. Perhaps ghosts are just random shapes, physical phenomena.
We are what we perceive.
All you believe are your eyes, and your eyes, they just tell lies.
Perception leads to deception. Spectral images should be reassuring. Should we not die and that's it? We should be reassured. Ghosts of the past, the present and the future. A ghost's friendly, like Casper, well, it depends, I suppose, what they were like when they were alive. A nasty person will lead to a nasty ghost. But we need not be scared. Our loved ones, dearly departed, are not departed, they're right here. We fear the unknown, but all we have left to fear are our own fears. Isn't that right, Mr... Oh. It's gone. Oh no, I never made my next seminar appointment. Oh, I'll just ring up. It's okay. Oh, hiya. Can I make a seminar appointment with Mr. Montague, say next Monday, about 11:30, room 237? I'm sorry, what? No, that can't be true. He died this morning in a car crash. No, I'll be fine, thank you. Goodbye.
When the mists are rising and the rain is falling and the wind is blowing cold across the moor, I hear the voice of my darling, the girl I love and lost a year ago. Well, it's hard to believe, I know, but I hear her singing in the sign of the wind, blowing in the treetops way above me.